Alright, so what we've found here, guys, and we really hope you appreciate that we're not just trying to rush through this and say this is how a room's painted and I quickly run it in, because you're going to come across all these problems and no one ever tells you how to fix it. Alright? So yesterday, when we've done some of the other stuff, we talked about different materials we can use and different tools. We had a Hawk, and I'd prefer to be using it. It's an aluminium top, it's a plasterer's tool and a handle underneath that can hold the mud on. By mud, it's something you've mixed up to fill your walls. So whatever it is, you'd prefer a top coat, a corner cement, which is harder to sand, or a pre-made one, whichever it is you use. Now, this is a paint lid. Off an old paint bucket, you might have a piece of timber. Use whatever you want to put it on. You don't have to go and buy the expensive tools. So that's what we're trying to say here. You don't have to do it just to do a room. Here's our filling blade, we said we'd need. Now what we've done, we've gone through, we've sanded the walls, and there's a couple of defects that I really didn't see. And so, here's one here that was quite hard to see till I rubbed it and a bit of paper come off. There's another one here that's probably still hard to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill them, because while they might be hard to see, we know they're there and we know they're going to wreck your finish. So what we're going to do now, sometimes you can put a bit of filler on the wall, clean up your blade, scrape it back off, and away we go. Now this filler is easy to sand, it does take a little bit longer to dry. So generally if they're easy to sand, they take a little bit longer. See the imperfection in the wall there? So what I'm trying to do, my aim is to just do something like that. So we've filled it over, yes we've created a slight hump, but we're going to sand that out nice and round. We won't have all these concaves and bits and pieces in the wall. So again, I'll just check over it. We did see some more, didn't we, Rod?
There's a couple more there, you're right.
A couple more here. Rod's got good eyes. So that one's a fairly flat hole. So it's just an indent. It's not round like that one, so we don't have to do it as large. And we've got another one here. So you can see there, reasonably flat. I'm just going to overfill it slightly. Okay. Now another tip is, I feel that these patches will stick to this wall. But here's a little tip for you. If your walls are really shiny and nothing looks like it's going to stick to it, get the corner of the blade and run some little scratches down your wall. Just little ones around the area you're going to do. So you'll scratch off to make sure you've got no bird paint. What this has done, it's called keyed up the wall. It's given the filler something to go in and bite into, so it's not going to just fall straight off when you want to sand it. So again, a little bit of filler on your blade, and over we go. So what we know there is the section around the patch is not going to fall out. What you don't want to do, I'll just show you up here a little bit, what you don't want to do is just do this sort of thing. It's never going to dry, okay? Never going to dry, you're just going to have problems. The other thing is, if I just scrape right off hard that patch, which I'll do to this one, I'll wreck this one. If I just do that, looks good, doesn't it? We don't have to do much sanding, but you're still going to see that patch. So if you want to do that, you've got to let it dry and then face over it again. So again, I'm going to put it back on it. I'm going to go, just pull it up a little bit. I've got a little bit more on there, so that's why your Hawk, or whatever you're going to use, your pallet, so to speak, you can put a little bit on it, you can take a little bit off. Now as you're filling and you want to leave more material on the wall, have your blade flatter to the wall. If you want to scrape more material off, stand your blade up at right angles to the wall. So we start off at right angles because we want to clean the edge and lay it over. And I've got a bit of garbage starting to dry. We start off straight and we lay it over. Okay? And you're not going to get it perfect. Take the edges off, leave it, and that's why we've got sandpaper. Keep mucking around with it, it'll be heavy and it'll start to dry and you'll have trouble. Good way to dry these patches is a hairdryer. You can, because you've normally got one of them at home, we have special heaters and industrial heaters. Hairdryer, start around, don't put it up too close or you'll cook the patch. It'll be no good at all, it'll dry terrible, it'll crack, it'll do all sorts of funny things. We're lucky enough now, we're going to go and have some lunch. We've had enough of this. And we'll get back straight after lunch, and then yeah, we'll sand these off. I'll show you how to touch them up without undercoat, do a little bit of a trick, and then we'll get a coat on this wall. So then by that stage you'll know how to do ceilings, walls, prepare your walls, look for defects such as mould and holes, and you'll be right to go. One little thing, but don't tell all your professional maters, Now, your professional painter mates, they'll hate me for telling you all these things. You'll notice that on all the shows, they're not showing you how to do it properly. They're just saying, how great does this look? This is so easy, anybody can do it. And we all know that when we start to paint, it's not as easy as it looks. And I really want you guys to have the best result. I want you guys, as I keep saying, for somebody to come into your house or your home or your office or your unit, and I want you guys to come in and somebody walks in behind you and goes, wow, did you get Ryan from Pro Painter to paint this? That's what I'd like. I'd like for them to see that it's a professional job and you can tell them just how much money you've saved. Alright guys, we're going to go and grab a bite to eat. When we come back, we're going to paint the wall. Alright, happy patching.